don't know if you guys know this, but we ran an ad on Sam Seder's channel making fun of him so that people who watched Majority Report would see us. It was like, what was it, me, Seamus, and you, Phil? Yep. And we were like, so this is what we did. We made a video where...
He called me a political hitman once.
Oh, that's
not bad.
Not bad, right? That's not bad.
So the video started with me saying something like, no, actually, I think, wait a minute. You're not going to watch this guy's video, are you? Nah, you don't want to watch him. Come watch us instead. And it was like, I was like, we don't want to be mean or disparaging. It's more meant to be like a prank and funny. And he's getting money for it.
Right.
And so I had that commercial run on his channel. But you know what that means? It means I paid him.
So you paid him, yeah.
That's right. You can go on YouTube, on Google Ads, and pay any creator to run ads on their content. You can choose their channel, and you can say, I want this amount of money and this amount of ads to appear on this channel. So as it goes, one way to launder and prop up a personality who's not good is to make sure their ad inventory is 100% sold. You're not making them big. You're making sure that if they get views, they get the maximum amount of money for those views. It's a way to pay people who have a message you like. So if you're a foreign government or even the U.S. government, the U.S. government can buy ads like liminally, subliminally, and superliminally.
Hey, you!
That's right. Join the Navy. They can, all the Simpsons references. The Navy can literally run ads on your channel. And the government be like, what's our ad budget? Buy ads on that channel. Or they can run a shell corporation through intelligence that runs ads on your channel. And then you're sitting there being like, dude, I make tons of money on YouTube. And that makes sure you can survive, expand, and grow. And here's the best part. You can target videos. So they can make sure that certain videos generate more money than other videos. Then what happens? YouTube creator makes a video about Israel, makes a bunch of money. They say, oh, wow, when I do videos on Israel, I make a lot of money. You can easily control what people are going to talk about based on view counts, likes, and their revenue streams. So there are probably a lot of personalities who are propped up and they don't even know it.
I can give you an example off the top of my head because I looked this up. Do you remember like a couple of years ago, I guess, I was talking about this phenomenon of the hick lib, and it was it was like this sort of Kevin Costner and Yellowstoning, which by the way, totally vindicated on with the final episode where they tore down Yellowstone Ranch,
gave it to the Native Americans.
Gave it to the Native Americans, and they're kicking over the graves, and everything. They're like, no, put it back up. And they're like, I'm gonna kick it down anyway, elder. And so I was talking about this thing called the hick lib phenomenon, where it was like someone who has sort of the aesthetics, if you will, of a sort of Midwestern conservative type guy, but then has these like very liberal, extreme social justice reactions. And so I was digging into this in 2023, and I had this guy, it was called Bo of the Fifth Column, he, him. And so he does this like gun channel, and kind of one of the, I guess I call them gun tubers, and it was like, okay, he's got the beard, he's got the hat, like he kind of looks like, he sort of just looks like the kind of guy who would, who you'd watch one of these channels, and that would be it. And then every once in a while he would throw something in there about like trans acceptance or like, just you name your, SJW type topic, and it would go throw in. But then here's where it got, took a darker turn, because the Los Angeles Times actually reported on this, and I saved the article. It said, after the January 6th Capitol insurrection,
good grief,
tech companies began experimenting with and came under increasing pressure from the U.S. government to prevent the spread of extremism on their platforms. So an internet figure named Bo of the Fifth Column became one of the beneficiaries of this, because listen to this. The idea was bait and switch. The LA Times. Give people searching online for terms like join the Oath Keepers or, quote, bomb instructions, some content that seemed to fit their request, but instead offered an alternative. The method, developed by what's called Moonshot CVE, is called the redirect. Through partnerships with Google, as well as the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, the British firm's goal was to dissuade users from pursuing conspiracies and violent rhetoric by luring them with advertisements to other sites. And so I'm like, okay, the ADL was involved in this, as well as something called Moonshot CVE. I'm like, what's a British firm? So I'm like, let me go look up this Moonshot CVE and figure out what that is. And so they're astroturfing this hicklib identity. And what's interesting about the British government is that they actually have pretty good records on who they give their funding to. And these they're nonprofits basically because they all have to be registered. So it's like, okay, here's Moonshot CVE, Countering Violent Extremism, moonshotteam.com, London, United Kingdom. And this is the best part because, wait a minute, where did the money come from? Yes, it's a British firm, but the money came from the United States State Department.
Wow.
$3.6 million. And this was just the one donation that we've got, like the sub-grant and all of it. So wait a minute. In the LA Times, they refer to it as a British firm, but it was a British firm funded by the U.S. State Department to go through into Google and say, oh, we're fighting hate by propping up this guy, which directly sends you to his... And by the way...
Welcome to the Five Eyes Spy Club.
He may not have known at all. He might have no idea. And by the way, there's like actually a bunch of other stuff because apparently the guy was like a convicted felon and had been involved in like human trafficking and a bunch of other stuff, which is like really messed up and clearly. And that they didn't realize that either. So that was one of the reasons that the LA Times was reporting on it. But what they uncovered was this massive web of your money that was being spread around, just like what you're talking about, Tim, and just like what you're talking about, that props up certain people on YouTube or other functions. And Google says, hey, we're just fighting hate. We're fighting extremism. And yet you're propping up certain content like the hick.
I think it's only going to get worse.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.